Okay, thank you everybody. We're going to do the wrap up now. So if you could if you could pay attention over here, it'd be great. A couple of points of order just before I forget, because I know I will definitely not remember to say this at the end of the wrap up. For the social tonight, we just realized the NF Core website says 6:30, but it's actually 6. So try and be there for around 6 if you can. There's about a 35-minute walk, something like that, according to Google Maps. So you can either walk or take an Uber, or whatever you guys do over here. I defer to the locals. We have the place booked until I think 8:30, and after that it's just kind of regular bar. So you'll feel free to stay as long as you like. Try and remember to take your badges with you, because there's food and stuff. So if you have your badge, you can just walk straight in. There is a list on the door, so if you forget it, it's not the end of the world, but it just makes it a bit easier. Tomorrow we are back in the same place, same room tomorrow morning. Again, have breakfast from 8:30, I think, in the same place, just down this hallway. So feel free to come by then and get some food and start hacking straight away. For everyone coming to a summit on Thursday, we have breakfast on Thursday, but it's a different location. I'll try and remind you again tomorrow if I remember. But it's kind of just up the hall, basically, through the foyer of the hotel. But tomorrow, same place, same breakfast. Was there anything else I had to say? Nope. Okay. Right. Let's go on to the wrap up. First up is modules, Josanna.
Yeah, for the modules team. So we were mainly figuring out together how to use the new functionality in the NF Core Dev development version on creating modules with NF Test. And I think we finally succeeded, but we had some phases of failing, some phases of this doesn't work, and then finally it succeeded. So we have some modules in which we just converted the PyTest to NF Test, BPMap, Miniasm, Areba Run, and also adding new modules as PRs. Yeah, so just wanted to also thank very much everybody that developed those tools that made it very easy to add the NF test, and everybody that contributed new modules. Yeah. And for tomorrow, we have like a large number of PRs opened, 8. So we should start the day by just reviewing PRs from other people. And yeah, but one is reviewed and merged. So that's also great progress. Yeah, thanks very much.
Refresh. Better? No, test. Hang on, what? No, that's fine, yeah. Thought someone had rearranged it.
Okay, so this was the cool team of NF Test back there. So we primarily were had a goal of converting as many PyTests to NF Tests, and you can see by the issues and PRs open there, we were killing it with 17 modules now converted to NF Test. And 2 sub-workflows too, thanks to some really talented people there. We haven't started reviewing much of the PRs that we have opened. So that's the first order of task tomorrow morning. And also we found a bug in NF Core tools related to NF Test. So that's a plus too. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So this momentum, we'll just keep it going until tomorrow and after the hackathon too. Thank you.
Pipelines.
Thank you, Maxime, for giving me this responsibility for the pipelines group. So the pipelines group is mostly thinking about that sort of high-level structure, new pipelines, how to restructure pipelines. So we also had some great work from Abhinav and Venkat on Azure megatests. So this is regular testing of all NF Core pipelines on Azure. Leon fought bravely against Haj, a non-NF Core pipeline. He's looking to NF Coreize it, which is a not insignificant task. So really, if you're starting your pipelines, it'd be great if you could use the template from the get-go. It makes everybody's life a lot easier. You eventually have to solve these problems, and it's always easier to do it up front. Chase and Alyssa on the calling cards, really cool molecular biology technique. We're working towards an NF Core pipeline for that sort of data. MAG and RNA VAR, we're just sort of gathering interests. In the viral integration pipeline, we're adding NF validation and NF tests, so thank you, Alyssa and Chase. The MC Micro pipeline is mostly a negotiation. That's why we've got Shatner in the bottom hand. So Rob here with Leon, Florian, is negotiating exactly what this sample sheet is going to look like. This is perfect. The perfect thing to do at a hackathon, the really human work of working out what this thing's going to look like. And some more custom pipelines and AmpliSeq. So thank you very much for everyone from the pipelines team. And I'll pass it to Ops.
Apparently you can insert GIFs now. Okay, so the ops team. Mostly what we worked on today was getting the for each for the pipelines working in Terraform. And that was mostly Graham teaching me, who's now conveniently left and fled the scene. So we also discussed mirroring the repos then, because we realized as we were starting to work on these, what if we accidentally blew away all the repos and of course no more. Luckily Graham was like, what if we just made a separate org for that to create a blast radius of this sense as well. We also added a bite-sized team. Fran hasn't responded on that, but if anyone's interested in joining the bite-size, like reading through the transcripts and checking over those as well. So essentially just a quick run through so that everybody's like kind of aware of what we're doing. The idea is this is some simple Terraform, and then you can start to define teams, repos, etc., and we can just basically turn that into code rather than us clicking through the various buttons. This is just for the infrastructure team as a quick demo. And then so what we did today was we basically took this pipelines, and so we have like the test pipeline, methyl-seq, modules, etc., basically for the NF Core pipelines, and then you'll just call for each on all of them, and it'll generate the pipelines with the same settings for everything. So that's what we did today.
Slowly, the old NF Core website PHP scripts being stripped away. It's a pleasure. The ops team is quite nice. It's a new team this time, and we're sort of spinning it up at the moment. So this is kind of the hidden work that goes on behind NF Core to sort of make all the maintenance and infrastructure work. So it's good to give a bit more visibility to this. Thanks, Evan. Do you need me to refresh?
Nope. Hey. Thank you. Yes, so for the beginners team, most were not true beginners in the sense that most had already used Nextflow, but were new to NF Core. We had a number of discussions around, getting started, pain points, and all of that. A common theme that emerged was that there was a strong interest in using NF Core templates, but not necessarily with the goal of pushing the pipelines to NF Core. And we found a number of gaps in the documentation around that. Trying to say it diplomatically. So there's clearly we found some really interesting resources. Thank you, Gisela. The slide deck that you pointed us to was one of the most useful resources, possibly the most useful. Anyway, but clearly there's some gaps, and we'll be working on filling some of that. I want to call out a few things that people actually worked on and got done. Charlie worked through some training materials and tested some features. Actually switched from using, I think it's interesting, switched from using Gitpod for running through training materials to actually using his local setup, which for sustainability and being able to continue using stuff is important. And tried the resubmission with resume arguments, which is a really important feature. And so tried it out and it worked. So that's always gratifying. David actually created a new NF Core module. There's a pull request for it. Somebody please go and review it by tomorrow morning. That would be lovely. And Lynn learned a lot from being in the passenger seat for the development process, helped figure out some issues. So well done there on having an actual pull request coming from the beginners table. I'm very proud. And Julie was new completely, I believe, to Nextflow. And actually got set up with all the tooling, ran a real pipeline, RNA-seq pipeline specifically. We encountered a number of interesting issues, but she learned a lot in the process, and I learned a lot in the process too. We got help from a number of people, including Rob, including others, so thank you very much, that was very helpful. And we have some suggestions, some others that aren't in the slide here either, but just generally more documentation seems to be an emergent theme as well, and resources to kind of bridge the gap between the Nextflow stuff and the NF Core stuff, and we'll be working on that in the future. And I don't want to stand in the way of dinner any more than that. But thank you very much. That was very helpful.
Awesome. Thank you for everyone who came up and presented, and thank you all of you for your work today. Documentation, super important theme. We've had previous hackathons focused just on documentation, where it was the main theme, and we used to have a group dedicated to documentation, but we decided not to because we sort of feel like every group should be doing documentation all the time. So yeah, maybe we should have that as a category, like for each team, how many PRs you've put in specifically to fix or add to the docs. So thank you for all that. Right, with that, we're going to sort of wrap up for today. So feel free to go back and drop your stuff at your hotel or whatever and see us at Cheeky Monkey, or if you prefer, we're going to be here for a bit longer. So you're welcome to carry on working a little bit and go directly there, whatever makes most sense for you. Try not to leave anything in the room tonight. It will be locked up, but I don't want to be responsible for your possessions. So, and yeah, we'll see you later. Thank you very much. Oh.